let's join our next guest.
Join me in welcoming Angela Duncan. Hey, Angela, how you doing?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thanks so much for being here with us. Start us off by telling us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
I go very far back, and I like to tell people that I am a survivor of childhood abuse and poverty. And the reason why I start with that story is because I teach about money and how to create income. And I want people to know it doesn't matter where you started, it matters what action you're going to take today.
Oh, I love that. Because some of us all had some really bad starts, but that doesn't have any bearing on where we can go. That's cool. So talk to us a little bit about how we can go from nothing to the amazing somethings that we were meant to be.
So my journey started very early. I moved out of the house when I was 18, and I went on this journey, and I wanted to learn more about this tool that we call money. And so for me, I needed to be a student. And very early on, I made a lot of horrible investing decisions. I've built and scaled and exited several companies since then. So I've learned a lot along the way, 25 plus years of studying money and business. And I just love being an entrepreneur. I love the freedom that it provides, but I also love teaching other people how to use this tool we call money in your business so that we can create more income together for your business, but in a fashion that a lot of people are currently not using.
Oh, well, you've teased us really good. Now tell us, what is the way that people aren't usually using that can serve us?
So it's on this platform that we are on right now. It's called podcasting. And while it's been around for quite some time, a lot of people still use it for an audio, meaning they are tuning into podcasts and they think it's too hard, too difficult. I don't have time to create my own podcast. And they don't understand how podcasting can really change their business. Over 3.5 million podcasts are out there with 1.5 million people listening. So imagine creating a business model through podcasting that you can use without spending a ton of money or a ton of time to create more business in your income. And so that's what I love to teach. Obviously, you're a podcaster, a podcast host. You've been doing this for a little bit, so you understand how to use podcasting to help grow income for your business.
Now, I want to jump into that. I do need to say, for the sake of these syndicators, they do really get frustrated when I refer to radio stations as podcasts. But yes, we are also available in podcast format. So anyway, talk to us though about it. It's such a great medium. What are some of the ways that people can make money that they probably don't even know they could?
And I love that you mentioned that too, because I've talked to a lot of people in radio and they're really incorporating more shows like this because they know that this is going to be the future. So there are many ways that you can create income from podcasts. Obviously, I'm a guest on your show. And so if I want to share this podcast with my own audience, then I'm showing them that I'm an expert in my field. I'm showing them that I am out there, I'm teaching the information, I'm utilizing this platform so that I can create more business by being the expert in my field. A lot of people think podcasting is super difficult, but it's not. And so what I like to do is make it very simple. We go with you step by step so that you can launch successfully your own program on whatever platform that you choose so that you can give more information to your audience. The more that they consume that information and listen to you, the more of an expert you are in their eyes. And it's so much easier when they need your help that they've already seen you as the expert. You're not having to pitch yourself, because for me as a female, I don't like pitching. It's so salesy. And for me, I want to build relationships first. And the way that you build relationships through this medium is by providing so much free information that the person listening already views you as the expert. So when they need you, they're coming to you because they know that you're going to solve whatever problem that it is that they have, which is your business.
So what kind of things can we do so that they remember how to get a hold of us after, because you hear somebody and you're like, what was that thing? So how can we help stick in their minds?
I know not everyone is like me. I keep a notepad and a pen in my car because I am an avid, podcast and radio listener. So if I hear something, I'm jotting it down. But we have these things called smartphones and they're in our hand constantly. So if you're on someone else's podcast, a great tip I like to tell you is to provide them with your social media. It's so much easier for someone to find you on social media, follow you, and then again, keep listening to your content because you're the expert in your field. So if you are going to be on someone's podcast, make sure you're sharing how do I reach you? Don't give them a long website. They're not going to remember that, but just give them your social media. And that way they can follow you and they can reach out to you that way. But as a person on social media, make sure you're checking your messages too, because there are spam folders, and I have seen people reach out to me wanting to hire me for their business, but then I didn't see the message because it's in the spam folder. So making sure that you're checking that folder is very important as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, a person is like, all right, Angela, I'm gonna go out as a speaker. Um, what do I talk about?
Right. So think about, what do people ask you? What are the questions that your friends, your family are constantly asking you? Because a lot of times we think what we know is common sense. It's really not. I have people asking me money questions and podcast questions all the time. And for me, it seems like it's common sense. So I can just, blurt it out, whatever it is that they're asking questions about. So start to take an internal journal, whether you're going to write that down or use your smartphone to take those notes. What are people asking you about? And that's really your area of expertise. Hopefully it's also your business, because that's what you're teaching other people. But start to use the platform and record just a couple solo podcasts to begin. Who are you? What do you want to do? What is your mission? How do you help people? And how are you an expert? And give real life stories. People love stories. I love hearing stories, and they can connect to you when you're sharing those stories. So really important for you to spend your time wisely. If you're going to use this platform, become the expert in your field, share the stories with your audience so that they have a better way to connect with you as a person. Because if you're listening to this in your car and you're just driving along, it's really hard to get to know the person on the other side. So sharing those personal stories is how they're going to connect and relate to you. So that's great information, at least to start off on your journey for this platform as well.
A lot of people, because we all get in our heads and then we question everything that we know. They say, well, I don't really have anything that's that unique or special to share with people. How does a person discover what's their cool thing?
What are you currently listening to? What are you watching? What is your business? These are all things that you already know. You just haven't spent the time to flex your muscle, which is using the platforms and speaking about it. Now, I'm a true introvert. I love this platform because I'm able to talk to a camera, and it's less salesy. It can be uncomfortable to start, but once you start doing it for a little bit, then it becomes more comfortable. One of the things that one of my clients had did to help prepare to launch their own podcast was to go live on Instagram first, because it helps you to practice to talk to a camera, to get in the habit of having a conversation without, necessarily someone on the other side watching you, but knowing that your audience is out there and having them participate. Like, what questions do you want to know about me? And those could be some key topics that you're going to use on your own shows when people are asking you topics or when they're asking you questions. Jot down what they're asking you, because if you're answering it and it just feels natural for you and it's something that you already know, those are topics that you're going to utilize in launching your own podcast.
I love that. I always say, what is the thing that when you start talking about it, your children roll their eyes? Such a great clue as to what you talk a lot about.
Very true. And you don't recognize it most times, right? So that's a good visual for people to think about. So I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you've been through so many things. You started off in a, poor state in life, and you've built, gigantic companies. What would you say was the secret? I mean, what did you do that other people didn't do? I mean, there's a lot of people that were in poverty that are still in it. What was different?
Yeah, I'm a student. I'm going to be a student forever. The first advice that I gave in my book, Empower Your Money, was to invest in yourself first. So if you truly want to learn about something, we're in an era where there's just so much free information. I mean, we've got this platform, radio, podcast, you have YouTube, and you don't have to pay to listen to it. So spend the time to invest in your own education. Figure it out. What is it that you want to learn more about? If it's going to be to create your own show, then go on YouTube and find people who have done it before. Get some free information first, and then hire an expert to help you in the things that you don't know. And it's truly important for you to have a mentor or an expert, just like you, Steve. I know you help your clients, in your expertise of books and writing, and now obviously on this platform too. It's so important to have an expert with you side by side, because they've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and you kind of want to avoid those, right? Time is our most valuable asset, so why not learn from them, from their mistakes, so you don't make them, and then you can just get to your goal and accomplish your goal so much quicker, because you do have that expert on your side to teach you all of the things that you need to know to be successful in that you're wanting to learn.
I love that. And I'm looking at your book here, Empower Your Money 101 Simple Ways for Female Entrepreneurs to Create Financial Freedom. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've read a lot of books about money and creating income in the years that I've been studying personal finance. And what I find and what I hear from a lot of people who just don't know where to start is that it seems overwhelming. And they just wanted something simple that they didn't need to pull out a dictionary or their phone to Google a term because they didn't know what that looked like, right? So I wanted to put a book together that gave you 101 action items that you could walk away with today so that you can implement it in your life. And they're just simple things. You know, my first one I already talked about was investing in your own education. I have things in there like a no spend day if you're really trying to, conquer debt or control your finances. It's just little things like that that you may already know, but when you read it and then you connect the heart with the mind, then it just is going to help you to accomplish whatever your goal is that you're working on. So I wanted to make something super simple for people just to read and to be able to implement with those action items right away. So it wasn't super complicated. And that was, something that was on my heart for a long time. Being that I did grow up in poverty and abuse, I often think about like my mom. If she had better financial education, right? If she knew more about business and entrepreneurship, then maybe she wouldn't have stayed in that relationship. And maybe I wouldn't have had to endure what I did because of her lack of education. So when I think about, entrepreneurs or females in general, I want to make sure that they're not stuck. You should never feel like you're stuck in an unhealthy environment because of a lack of education. In today's world, there's education all around you. You can go get my book. You can go to the library and check out books for free. Like I said, YouTube, radio, podcasting, all of those are free avenues for you. But you do have to take the action to go seek out that information and spend some time investing in yourself first.
I love that so much. So, what kind of people do you like to work with?
Entrepreneurs, really people who are looking to get in front of a new audience or perhaps an unused audience, and they're tired of, Facebook ads or Instagram ads, which can be very random and not paying off for them, right? So we're going to use this platform to make sure that people know that you're an expert, but it also helps you build relationships. Like you and I now, I know who you are. We're building a relationship together, and perhaps I'm going to be a referral source for you later. So there's so many different things that you have to think about when it comes to podcasting that you can utilize to help grow your business and reach more clients, create more income for your business in a simple platform that maybe only takes an hour a week for you to do. So that's why I love this platform. And it's your way to give back to the community. I truly believe that if you give first, abundance will come later, but you need to come with contribution. And that's what this platform is for. We're just giving so much great information so that someone listening to it can jot it down and then go take action immediately. I mean, this is just incredible, something that we didn't have 30 years ago, right? When we were growing businesses. So just having this platform and being able to give back to the community is really something that I truly enjoy. And I think I went way off topic there, but sometimes that happens when you're talking to a camera.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. I love it. Sometimes the rabbit trail is better than whole sermon. So
Yes.
no worries. So talk to us about you have the book. What other kind of courses do you help or teach people?
Yeah. Am I allowed to give a freebie away to your audience?
Absolutely. We
All
love
right.
freebies.
I always ask for permission because this is your show and I want to be very respectful of you, your time, and your audience. So if you're thinking that you want to launch your podcast, but you don't know what to do or how to start, and you're not ready to hire a mentor or myself to help you launch it, if you go over to my Instagram, Empower Her Money, send me a message and just type in the word kid, whether you're going to put two D's or one D. Hopefully, Steve Kidd has two D's in his name, but message me the word kid and I'm going to send you a checklist. It's the ultimate podcast launch checklist. It's what I go through with my clients, and I'm going to give it to you for free step by step so that you can hopefully avoid some of the mistakes that I made when I launched my podcast.
Oh, I love that. So you said give people your social media. So give us all of your social media.
Yeah, so TikTok, Instagram, it's Empower Her Money. My podcast is also called Empower Her Money. And those are the best ways to find me. And like I said, just message me the word kid. I'm going to give you that checklist for free that I use for my own clients. That way you can start on your journey and hopefully I can help you create more income for your business as well.
I love that. Well, before I let you go, give us some words of encouragement that no matter what today might look like in the bank account, that things can be different.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter where you were right before this podcast. If you decided today that you're going to take action and create more income for yourself personally or for your business, there's plenty of ways for you to do it. But you have to take the time to invest in yourself first, because this way you're going to empower and just be incredible and help everyone that's around you because you took the time to take care of yourself first.
I love that. Well, do check out Angela at Empower Her Money. And Angela, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the show today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for listening to Empower Her Money podcast. I am grateful for you. Please make sure to leave us a 5-star review, like this podcast, share it, subscribe, and let's keep teaching others how to take control and be empowered with their finances.